Hello, my fellow speakers. This is Brian, the speaker for the dead, coming to you today once again on the road. Just making my way across this great country of ours. So I wanted to do a video today. It's kind of an update video, kind of a Brian eating crow video, but I am the speaker for the dead, which means always speaking truth. Not always easy to do when you have to admit you might have been wrong about something. But that's what I want this channel to be about. It's about admitting when you're wrong and, owning up to your mistakes, as well as, all the good and bad stuff that's out there in life. So today, my Eat Crow session, and I'm sure that there will be more of these to come, has to do with Game of Thrones. I know I said I wouldn't make any more videos on Game of Thrones because it was over, and if you've gone back and watched my previous Game of Thrones videos, I was pretty hard on Game of Thrones. I never wanted to watch the series. I thought it was all just hype and just a bunch of nonsense, and I'd heard too many things about it, and I just thought, okay, it sounded like it kind of went against my personal beliefs, and just, to me, it just sounded like a poor Tolkien, imitation. Well, here's the story. So I'm driving across Nebraska here, a couple weeks back. Walked into a Walmart that I was getting a few groceries at to go across the road, and walked past the little digital section, and lo and behold, there's Game of Thrones DVDs on sale for like $15 a pop for a season. So I'm like, okay, so I kind of was like, you know what? That was one of the criticisms that was leveled at me when I was criticizing Game of Thrones, was I never seen it, and so you can't judge it. And I thought, that is true. And I didn't want to watch it. But I thought, you know what? All right, $15. I'll just buy a season, and we'll watch it and see what it's like. Because everybody who's watched Game of Thrones has all said the first 4 seasons are probably the best ones. So I thought, okay. So anyway, so I got it. Started watching them after I was done driving each night. And I have to say that one of the things that I was avoiding is definitely still something kind of to be avoided in it. But I have to admit, the storyline, the acting, the realism was very good. I was really surprised. I mean, I see what pulled people into that. Why people like that so much. Part of me thinks they should have just called the series Game of Porn. Because I spend a great deal of the time doing that, having to turn my head and look away, because like the first, and full disclosure, the next time I took a trip out, I bought the second season. Oh yeah. Doubled down on my hypocrisy, but I just thought, you know what, let's see what this is all about. They're on sale, they're cheap, so I'm just like, why not? But seriously, are there any actresses, just starting out, B grade, starting out actresses, whose boobs did not get shown in Game of Thrones? And there was even a couple of dudes' peni muscles that were, and I'm just making up words because I don't want to actually say the real word, Mainly because of some kids sitting in the car. I don't want you to have to explain. Where's that pit? Anyway, so, or wherever you're watching, I don't want your kids to hear this and just be like, what is he talking about, Daddy? Because I've had that up and I'm listening along, not thinking anything about it, and then all of a sudden these questions start coming from the back because I'm like, oh no, oh, and trying to stop it. So, but yeah, I mean, the story's great. But seriously, did they have to spend so much time in brothels, hookers, and I mean, first couple of seasons, it seems like that's the only job that women were allowed to have, except for Brianna Targ or whatever. She's just been introduced in the last season, so I'm still trying to get to know her. She's the one that's like super tough knight and stuff, which, you know what, it's kind of funny and stuff, but I mean, some of the characters just despicable, but they're played very well. You know, it's very, very interesting, some of the things that are happening, and so I full disclosure, I probably have to give it 7.5 to 8 stars out of 10. For the acting, for the story and stuff. And the reason I don't rate it higher is just for the sheer amount of naked women that are shown in the series. And don't get me wrong, I'm a regular guy and I like naked women. I just, because of my religious beliefs, I don't like just seeing them just to see them over and over again, like 5 or 10, 26 women per episode, different boobs being shown, and then like saying, then there's a couple episodes where you get to see a guy's whole unit, and I'm just like, why did we need to? I mean, I don't know, and I felt like that's, you know, and I hope that's not why people really like the show so much. It's just like, if that's what you're after, there's loads of porn channels you can go to. Why ruin a great show with so much of that? Anyway, so I felt like I felt for a couple of weeks like I needed to get on here, make an update video, and eat a little bit of crow and say, okay, you guys were right. I understand why you liked Game of Thrones. I just wish that they could delete some of that stuff out. I realize it's part of life. That's what goes on. I just don't think you need to be exposed to it every time it does. I mean, you know, I'm not a prude. I realize what goes on out there in the world. I just don't feel like I need to see that as part of a story to understand what's going on there. And in a lot of ways, they whittled their audience down and made it smaller than it might have been had they not added so much of that in. Because there's a lot of people that won't watch it, like I didn't for years. I mean, they never got one little bit of ratings for me watching that show, mainly because I'd heard there was so much of that in it. And so it's kind of sad that they missed out on they missed out on me. I mean, but anyway, so there it is. I like Game of Thrones, but now that I know how it ends, it's like it's definitely a catch-22. But then I might like the way it ends. I don't know. A lot of times I'll like something different than other people like, and you know, I have very eclectic and strange tastes sometimes. I think they're good taste, but you know, I don't know. But I you know. But my wife would tell you no because I like anime. And my wife doesn't. But all my kids like anime. So we sit there and talk about loads of anime around her. She just kind of rolls her eyes. But I have very specific tastes when it comes to anime. There's a lot of it that I'm like, okay, no, that's weird. But anyway, so there you are. Ambition time. I like Game of Thrones. For all of you who tried to tell me not to judge it, alright, I'm sorry. But just for another update, I will not be watching Star Trek Discovery. Everybody knows, if you're on my channel very long, I love Star Trek, but I absolutely will not watch Star Trek Discovery because I know too much about it, and no. And if someday, by happenstance, because I'm not going to pay for it, if someday I get a chance to watch it for free, where no money will be going to CBS or anybody for creating that nightmare, I might watch it. But that's it. That's the only way that I will ever watch it, is if I can watch it without giving anybody any ratings or giving them any money. And then I will only be watching it just to review it. Not because I want to watch, because I don't. I have no interest in the story. The character never should have been created. Michael Burnham they've completely ruined everything as far as continuity and stuff. Anyway, this is a Game of Thrones video. I'm just updating. It's kind of an update video too, like bringing everybody up to the fact that, yeah, Brian was wrong about something. So, right but wrong. So, anyway, we'll see if they stay on sale. I may keep going a little bit till I get into the higher priced ones. But once I hit that, I'll kind of back down because I don't. But anyway, yeah, great characters, interesting storyline, a lot of palace intrigue, a lot of people screwing this person over to get somewhere and do something and blah blah blah, and it's like, wow. And there's some creepy characters on there. I mean, there's kind of shows you just. And the sad thing is it's all happened in real life. I mean, this stuff is based on some real life stuff, and wow, creepy. It's creepy bad. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, hope you like this video. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me you told me so. Stick that knife in a little bit. I deserve it. I'll admit that. I do. On this one, I do. So, I get it. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. Get out there and live your life. And we will talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.